Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, we're back here on another Monday morning. Didn't get as much video shot last week as you saw in the video because I only had about 12 minutes of video last week. Had a lot going on, guys. I had I don't know. Last week was one of those weeks where I just wish I could have skipped over last week. I had several customers that were very difficult to deal with. It's just, I think it's just been what it's been this year. People are just unhappy, and guys, you see what kind of quality work we do around here. I mean, I really try to do right by the customer, and I want to give the best service that the RV industry can get, but you're always going to have some of those customers that are obviously not happy individuals. And it don't matter how hard you try or what kind of quality service you do, they're still going to be upset. And it just seems like it's been more of that this year than all the years past. I don't know. This is the part of the business that I want to show you guys, and these are the struggles, and especially with a small business, we're struggling to pay the bills already anyways. And at $160 an hour, I'm still cheaper than anybody else around me. And yet, everybody's so mad at me because of how much money I charge, and they say I'm ripping them off, and, how can I sleep at night? And, it's just the struggle small business has, and, everybody expects a discount, and everybody expects money back, and, yet the big box stores are over $200 an hour. Some of them are $185, $195, and over $200. Here I am at $160. I feel like it's great value, but this is what I'm dealing with every day, and this is the struggle of a small business. And unfortunately, with prices the way they are now, and as expensive as parts are, unfortunately, come January, we're going to have another price increase. And it's not what you want to do, but you guys see how expensive stuff is. I mean, it's just that'll be another battle next year. People be upset about that too. So, I didn't get a lot of video done last week. I had a lot of issues. I had one guy we had to let go because it wasn't working out, and so I was actually turning wrenches a bunch last week. So I didn't get as much video as I wanted to get done, but you got a little bit. So we're back here this week. We've got a new guy we hired, so he's rolling with the boys right now. I know Lewis has got a basement air coming in this week, and then we generators, still got a bunch of generators to work on. There's several projects we got in the works, so I'll try to grab some video of that stuff. So thanks for all the comments last week. You guys' encouragement is good. This is struggle. Again, I'm trying to show you guys the struggle, small business. We have our good weeks and we have our tough weeks, and sometimes the tough weeks outweigh all the good weeks, but it is what it is. So welcome back. We're going to go up here and get rolling this morning. So one of the projects we've been finishing up on is that 5500 Onan diesel generator. We came in with that overtemp problem, and we found out that it had exhaust pipe that was busted on it. So we're doing a hour-long test on it, make sure it's loaded up good, make sure there's not a problem. Now Jackson has been working on this big Montana with the black tank, and this thing was ruptured. Actually, I think it's a gray water tank, but it was ruptured when it came in. This has been a nasty, nasty job just because everything underneath this thing has been really bad, rusty. So let me show you what we got going on. One of the things Jackson's working on now is trying to make sure that all of the plumbing right there is matching up with here, because obviously we don't want to cut too many holes in this. We want this to work right the first time. So just a little bit involved in making sure that's going to be right. Now this old bounder that you saw us working on the fascia from last week, Mr. Lewis has got that all done. He's just working on, when they broke in, they obviously busted the door handle too. So now he's got the fascia on, he's got the new wind installed. So this one's getting real close to being ready to head out to the customer. So here's another one that we're working on. As you can see, that's one of those fun projects where it's got the full room Schwintek slide out system that was wrecked. We talked about that in one of the other videos. So right now Brandon's just trying to get it all lined up and re-drilled and put back in its place so we can make sure all that's working. Now here's the shoes that came out of this unit, and you can see how bad these shoes, I mean, this is Lippert shoes. This is how bad these shoes are. Now, these are the ones that we actually make here at Shelburne RV. These are our Shelburne XD shoes, and you can see the difference between those shoes and these shoes of how much more material is there versus what they give you. So it's just a better shoe. So even though this is a brand new slide out assembly, we're going to put the new shoes in there, and that's something that we've obviously been doing for a year or so. We've had several of those out in the market that we've been testing, and those XD shoes seem to work really, really well. Knock on wood, we haven't had any reworks because of that, but obviously that material is a whole lot better, 30% stronger material, a lot more meat on them. So again, it's just trying to not have a bunch of reworks when it comes to Schwintex, which obviously you guys know is a struggle. So Mr. Lewis has got his Winnebago Journey in here, and the customer complaint was that this is a brand new unit. They've actually had 2 units put in the last year, and it is not working correctly. Now, I can tell you guys, that's the problem. The power management is not hooked up, and so this unit is only being allowed to run on compressor 1. So we're gonna hook this up the right way, and then we're gonna re-verify everything. All right, Mr. Lewis has got this up and running, and I want you to hear what's going on here. That is a locked up compressor 1 is what that is. I have never heard one make that kind of noise, but it is a locked up compressor 1. So Cousin Gary's been working on a big Seneca with a Norcold 1200. Now what was happening was that board was not switching between gas and electric. So it had a board situation that was causing it to not work correctly. Another one that Cousin Gary's been working on out here is a Cougar by Keystone, 5th wheel, that's got a Dometic 1350. Now, if you have the Dometic 1350, you've probably had some issues with it. And now's a good time to scroll back to my video that we did about the Dometic 1350, debunking the nuts and bolts. Good video. Thanks for all the comments on that, by the way. I've talked to a lot of people about the problems with the 1350. Let me show you what's going on with this one. So customer brought this one in and can't get it below 43 degrees. Now, you'll know in the video we talk about whether this cooling unit is actually working correctly. So what Cousin Gary has done is he's actually unplugged the heating elements from the boiler assembly and plugged them straight up to an extension cord. And what he's doing right now is he's running this wide open to see what the capacity of this cooling unit is, and if it actually is cooling correctly because of the tin foil and all the other stuff that goes on here. So one thing that I'm not hearing right now, and there's plenty of heat going on in this absorber vessel, is I don't hear a fan. So that's going to be something, again, in a slide out. Remember, you're asking to heat the rides, but the heat doesn't want to take a left to get out of there. So we're going to look at that baffle. We're going to look at the high temp sensor. We're going to see what's going on with that. But right now, Gary's just doing, what can this cooling unit do right now? Once he gets that diagged, we'll talk more about what's going on. Another project the boys have been working on is, look at here. BAL cable system. Now, you can see they've got all kinds of tools. They've got a ladder. And guys, unfortunately, some days, this is the only way you can fix the BAL. And you can see Jackson is not a small individual. But this is what it takes sometimes, guys, to get these back to where they need to be, because even with the fascia off, he still can't reach over it to get it. So a little bit of challenge on some of these BALs. And another project we're working on is we got a big Fleetwood excursion that came in that had the old dreaded Dometic 1292, and it was past its life. And so the customer had actually found one on, I guess, the marketplace, and he bought one, and I couldn't get that one to work either. So he didn't want to spend a ton of money on it, so they decided that they wanted to go residential refrigerator, and so they went to Lowe's and they got them one. Let me show you what's going on. As you can see, that's their brand new Maytag refrigerator that they got from Lowe's. And at the moment, where we're at is we've got everything pulled out of here. Now, to get this to work, we did have to pull, there was a trim piece across here that had to come out. And there will have to be a little bit of woodworking done on the sides. But this is just barely enough. If we pull the rollers off the bottom of the refrigerator, this is just enough to get that refrigerator in here. Now, that is how that refrigerator has got to come in here. Now, we've already had that window out because we pulled it to get rid of the refrigerator. So now we got to pull it again so we can bring this refrigerator in and start doing the install. So I haven't gotten a ton of video done this week. It's been one of those weeks. One of my employees, his wife fell in the shower and bonked her head pretty good, I guess. And so he's been staying home with her for a couple days to make sure she's okay. And I've had another one that's missed some work, and we've had a couple new guys. So, you know, this is the struggle every business deals with. And thank you for the comments, you guys. You know, I feel like some days that I'm the only guy that's dealing with some of the problems in this small business that we deal with. And you know, it's kind of interesting because I was talking to Mr. George over at G&L Services the other day, and you know, and we've talked about this in the videos about how difficult it's been this year and how things kind of broke loose 1st of August. And you know, Mr. George watches my videos, and he said, you know, I kind of dealing with the same thing. It was slow all summer, and then for some reason in, you know, 1st of August, everything kind of opened up. And so he's been kind of dealing with the same kind of thing. And then, you know, last week we were talking about some of the customers that we all somewhat deal with that are hard to please. And, you know, I was talking to Mr. George, and he said, you know, I deal with the same kind of thing that you're dealing with. So some days I feel like it's just me that's fighting this battle with the employees and the customers and the suppliers. And, you know, it's so frustrating some days because, you know, you take 2 steps forward and 4 steps backwards. And this is why small businesses struggle, guys. And this is why, you know, I'm not a big fan of Amazon. I try to support local, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with Amazon if that's what you want to do. But, you know, now that I've been a small business owner and I network with a lot of these small business owners, you know, it's eye-opening and it's mind-boggling the money it takes to run a small business and the problems that we deal with every day. And, you know, a lot of my employees come in some days make more money than I do. And as a small business owner, that's frustrating because obviously you want to make money, but you also got to pay your employees and you got to pay your bills. And you got to do all that. So, you know, if you don't love doing what you're doing as a small business owner, then you're in the wrong business. And, you know, you got to love what you do, because some days it's good. Some days, you know, it's tough. And definitely the last 2 weeks have been tough. So I've tried to get a bunch of video this week, but I've been, you know, with employees out, I've been in there turning wrenches, and I get busy and forget to do it. It's just what you got to do some days. So anyways, we're going to go around and kind of show you some more stuff we got going on. All right, so Cousin Gary has taken a look at this Cougar 1350 that we were doing the testing on. And what did you tell me is wrong with it, Gary?
It's got a blocked coolant.
Got a blocked coolant unit. So what's happened is in bypass mode, ideally we would like to see teens in the refrigerator, 0 to negatives in the freezer space. And you had what in the refrigerator?
45.
45 and a wide open setting in bypass. It'll never keep anything cold with the controls. So obviously has a problem in the cooling unit. So this one here is about to be Cousin Gary approved as soon as it gets done with it. Well, that's going to finish us up here this week here at Shelburne RV. Like I said, I apologize. I got as much video as I could this week. It's just been crazy. It's just been bonkers. One good thing is, look at here. My wife, you can tell she's been at the one of the RV shows, because look at all the Suburban hot water heaters she's got in. Those are the IW60 on demands. Those are great on demand hot water heaters. And then look at all the crapper tanks and all the toilets. Yeah, she spent a bunch of money, but she brought it in for you guys in case you need that stuff. So we've got a lot of that stuff's rolling in now from the RV shows. So yeah, she's been in here. She's been quite busy going through a lot of that, and I don't even think I think she's only gotten about half of it in here. So next week's going to be a little bit of a short week, being Thanksgiving. So I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. We'll talk a little bit more next week. So until then, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Cousin Gary is actually out trying to get the window up on the big Dodge right now. It wouldn't come up, so he's actually out there still working, but I'm getting ready to go home. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the comments. Please like and subscribe. And remember, this video is Cousin Gary approved. Y'all take care.